Okay. Let's see. Microphone. Yep. Levels are working. We are live. At least I hope we are. Yeah. There we go. All right. Cool. So, it has been 2 weeks since the last live stream. I apologize for that. There were some things in between. But we're gonna jump right back into it. So, when last we left off, we were doing retopology on the character. And I'd like to take another chunk out of the legs. There's like the shredded element that we over here, and then a couple more edges for the folds in this side of the pants. And then we'll just keep working our way up slowly. So let me go get the geometry piece. Let's see, ZBrush. Yeah, this part, though. One thing that I realized is that this is going to cause a seam because we have two different subtools. So maybe it would be better if we were to close that off. So let me see if I can quickly do that. Right, this is probably very poorly thought out. Bird. What does it look like if we move it like this? Just so that we have, that we do not have a seam here. And then we'll push the pants up a little bit. I can feel my tablet sensitivity being completely different. That's gonna be fun. Here at the front as well. Just using the H polish to gently nudge it back in. Move brush, nudge this in. This part as well. Because we have some... Alright, we have some severely... Hey Nadeski, welcome on in. Deek, hello, welcome on in as well. We have some pretty gnarly topology here now. I'm okay with that. Hang on, can I... So... Like, this is me doing something without a plan, which may or may not be the best idea. Because I basically just want to have this capped off. Now, is there a way where I can have this edge swivel out a little bit? I believe this is not possible because we have our subdivisions. What if we slide a few? Like, this is completely experimental. I have no idea if this is actually gonna work. I'm gonna say no. I get both of them. Okay, just immediately picking the problem, because what I would like, I mean, theoretically, if I could extrude this rim into like a narrow point and then have that be our cap, that would have been really nice. Like, again, this is something that This is something that I should have thought about back in high poly, because now we're paying for it. Let's see, can I... Just as a quick test, so... If I were to duplicate this one, get rid of its higher polys. I want to see how much of a difference there is between the high poly. If we choose to... whatchamacallit, re-subdivide it. Okay, and then we extrude, polygon loop. I'll have to... Wait, no. Yeah, no, that's gonna obliterate that part. You know what? Delete this one. We might be able to do it in Maya. Just because this is quite a geometry change. Wow, what a comeback to get back onto live streaming, to just immediately create a huge problem for myself. We are going to export this into Maya, and we're going to cap it off in there. So assets. Let's see. Nope. Don't do it like that, because then it's going to break on stream. So over here, edit, import, assets. You can see these submenus, but we have right pan strips. We have this one. Okay, so I'll just do it in Maya, because I feel like I can do it far quicker in there. We'll move this one gently up. Actually, we can entirely delete these things. And we'll cap them off like this. Now over here, do the same thing. So now this is capped off. We shouldn't merge the center, because then it'll become triangles. So let me undo that a bunch of times. Okay. Make it very narrow, and then we'll just add a couple of subdivision loops that they're only there to keep the shape. We'll do the same for the upper one. But for this I'm using Control left mouse button, so you can see that it's... I don't know if it's too visible on screen where you can see the percentage. If you hold down Control middle mouse button, it automatically snaps to 50%. So that's why I get these loops that are somewhat more evenly spaced. Okay, then we will collapse the center ones. If you look at it now, without wireframe, that's probably also going to give some issues in the base, because we see this. We see it all coming together towards this point. So that's something we'll have to fix up in ZBrush. On the top, I don't care all that much about it, so this one goes back to ZBrush. See, OBJ. Call it capped. Back to ZBrush. Problem solving on the fly, we love it. Import. First off, append. Also, yeah, I have a new microphone. It's a Blue Yeti. Please let me know if any sound issues come from it. For example, if all of a sudden you hear keyboard clicking or lip smacking or any type of other audio that shouldn't be in a live stream. Let's see, we will have to quickly put this back into the stack. So low poly wise they are still the same silhouette wise, it's just that the bottom cap is different. And we'll have to remake the poly groups, which luckily are quite easy. So with the Z modeler tool we'll go poly groups, poly loop. This should, yes. And we will make one over here. Hold down Alt so we get a different color, and then on the inside we'll do the same, as we'll want to use polygroups to get some of the creases. Okay, polygroup island, so it'll, with polygroup idle, it'll check whatever is on the continuous surface up until it hits another polygroup, and then it'll fill it like that. So again, with this one, I have this polygroup selected. We're going to go to this island and it's going to expand until it hits that. It sounds really good. Okay, that makes me happy to hear. Now we will increase polygroups. Let's see, what were the settings again that we used previously? Increase level 3. And alright, we have to increase the tips. So, increase edge. Toggling between the two models, see which ones have creases and then replicate that. So most of the peaks and valleys. Yeah, it's been a week. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Rather, it's been 2 weeks, I should say. Almost done, I hope. Just a few more. Okay, so subdivision, preview, check it. Okay. Okay, so what I believe happened here is that we indeed used the creases and then we used the polish to get like a little bit of a highlighted edge over there. Or rather, where it's not a perfect crisp edge. So we'll have to replicate that, but first let me... Yeah, so this edge is a little bit too sharp. And we want to get rid of this, like this waviness, so... We'll grab... Hang on. Before we do that, yeah, we're actually going to immediately commit to the subdivisions. So we have 5. Now with H-polish, let me see if I can reduce this. So holding down Alt to pull it towards, like do a bit of positive and negative sculpting, just to get rid of that polygonal faceting. We'll do it at the top as well. Very gently, staying away from the edges. Okay. I'm not that concerned about the inside, because odds are we're never going to see that. But it's good practice to still have like a small polished loop over it. You're filled with potatoes. Ah, nice. Happy to hear that the cooking went well. Again, small H polish touch-ups. So it's still cloth, so it doesn't need to be perfect. But there are a few elements where I'm like, okay, that just looks like molten wax, and I'm not okay with that. Oh. Hello, HTMZ. Welcome on in. Okay. So I think we can get rid of the old one, or just, I mean, yeah, commit. We have incremental saves, so I can't delete this one. So now we have this one, and we do not have a seam that is that artificial. Oh yeah, we see 2 subtools coming together. I will make one little thing with it, where invert the mask, boost it a couple of times. Or grow it. Oh yeah, when you boost it, it becomes significantly sharper, or it grows quite a bit. And I will move this up very slightly. Okay, so now we have this. Now later on in the diffuse we can make it so that, again, on the ID map, this is all going to be one part. And we're not going to get any weird artifacting from having 2 subtools clipping through each other. So this may not look like much, but from experience, I think that this is going to work a lot better. Okay, so let's see, also polish by features. Cool. We can retopologize this now. Because again, this is far too dense, and this is still too dense compared to the pans that we have behind it. So I don't need to decimate this. This is 12,000 points, so that's 24k. Let me just export it as an asset. We'll just call it right pants rips. Decimated, so it's consistent with names. Back to Maya. Hi Yinfeng, welcome on in. What a message. Let's see. Oh. I hope that did not get picked up on the stream, because Windows just detected new hardware from Logitech. I'm fairly certain I'll be using my hardware, like that mouse, for a long time. Okay. Oh, I think that's why my mouse sensitivity has been off. Okay. So now we have the trick of, we have a low poly pants and we need to kind of match it to the rips. E. So let's see. Because ideally we do want this to be one part. And then with triangles we will fix this up to have the shreds, because especially if you look from here, there is space between the pants and the upfolded shreds. I don't know if I've done this before, or at least, I mean, well, this one specifically. So let's just get a ring. No, not you. Center pivot, scale it out a little bit. So we know that this is the topology that we kind of want to match it to. As long as we stay close to that, we should be good. So we'll just try not to touch the bottom row too much. Okay, again, live surface. Turn this on, and then we'll try to keep this as straight as possible. So yeah, whenever you have upturned clothing, it's where the inside becomes the outside, and that's when topology can get a bit funky. I've experienced that in the past while modeling like suits, where you have a lapel that hangs over the chest piece or the collar. You need to find some creative solutions in order to get that to look good. So you can either model it where it's all just one flat piece, but then you sacrifice the ability to move it. And in that production cycle, they did want to have it move, so we had some very narrow topology, very densely stacked on top of each other. Great fun. Hey, the Brianator. Welcome on in. Happy and surprised to see so many people here this early. Usually it's a bit later in the stream. But this makes me very happy. Okay. And now we are going to start extruding, and then we'll see how many triangles will fit in here. Because I also realized that last time we were talking about putting triangles in models. Then I said I try to keep triangles like a little bit, whatchamacallit. We'll try to keep the triangles to a minimum. And then we made this, which is a whole bunch of triangles. Now mind you, there is still quad flow to it, but we did slice a lot of these quads into triangles in order to like, wow, my brain. In order to get the shapes. So it's funny how it can turn out. So I'll just focus on making shapes first. And then we'll make the topology pretty afterwards. Because this is going to be a ride. Because we want both the vertical edges to line up and also somewhat the horizontal edges. I don't think I've done this. No, I have not done this before. Rather making this shape, so. New learning opportunities. Okay, because I keep blocking myself with this, I'm going to duplicate this, grab a couple of these faces, throw them a bunch, delete everything else. Keep this, keep this, isolate selected. So now we can just rotate around it without getting distracted by the others. Okay. Because again, we have a lot of points in here. And I don't think the solution is to have a bunch of these like flow around it. I think we can get away with just having topology like this. Wait. Ad break already? There's no way it's been an hour. What's going on? 30 minutes. I thought I set it to once every hour. I'll have to check the settings afterwards. Maybe something changed again. Or has it always been every 30 minutes? I don't know. It's been a while. How does streaming work? Okay, this type of topology is not what I want. We continue. Okay, so I currently do not know the idea, and one thing that I do know about myself is that I try to plan for stuff. To try and figure it out on paper. Sometimes the solution is also to just go into it and see, like, throw spaghetti at the wall. See what sticks. Could very well be that we actually need more density for this piece because, yeah, it's so shape intensive. So we'll figure it out. Yeah. Maybe it would have been okay because we held on to the concept by a lot. As in, these are the shapes that are in the concept. Okay, I have to be careful with it, but sometimes it's better to adjust details like this just so that they fit the topology better. But for now, I think it's a good challenge to see what we can do with this. Also, please let me know if I'm rambling. Okay, and here we're back at the big ones. Okay, this is absolutely not something that we're gonna allow. So this immediately has to get fixed. Oh, we have advertisements. Okay, so line of thinking. I do not want this edge to... I would like to have this edge to be continuous like this. Which means that we will have to cut like this, just so we have triangles. That creates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an angle. We don't like those. This is some rough triangulation. But we'll make it. Yep. Advertisements up. Cool. Yeah, not a lot has changed yet. Let me look at this one. Let's see, control. Only another edge here, because again, everything's so curved. And we are absolutely going to do a test bake on this one in just a bit, because I need to know if this is actually going to hold up. Hey Flyzik, welcome on in. Can you on stream? Let's see, multicut. That's an interesting spike. Okay, if it's going to behave like this, then okay. Just move it manually like this. 5. Because again, Maya is trying to project it as best it can, so sometimes it needs like a little help. We can just average it back in place. Object, this one. Legally, I'm not allowed to fight Flyzik on stream. Okay, but I am legally allowed to shout him out, so shout out Flyzik. Flyzik is another really cool streamer. You should absolutely go check him out. Yeah, how are you doing, Flyzik? Hey, Roy Enzo. Welcome on in. Again, average it out. Move it into place. Yeah, is this one required? How do I phrase this? I think Flyzik would swipe the floor with me if we were to get into like a friendly boxing match. Like I explode quite quickly. Aw. Okay, I don't want the edge to go like this, so we'll just multi-cut it to here. Okay, so just as a test, we're going to give this soft edges. What it looks like. So this might be enough to hold on to our normal map information. So we're gonna doing right. Just got out of VRC, now vibing and lurking before bedtime. Nice. Oh yeah, ranged attacks. I am not above cheesing fights with ranged combat. I've played Dark Souls. I've played Elden Ring. I do keep a stack of poison arrows on me at all times. I don't feel bad about it whatsoever. Okay. So we have some automated UVs. I'll just decide to make a cut here. And we'll unfold them in horizontal mode. Take them out. Because this is going to be a thing, I will straighten them out at the bottom. So let's see, align UVs, minimum V, and then the others are going to get unfolded on top. This type of tricks is always really nice because you get a lot cleaner. Later on during packing, this type of UVs are a lot easier to pack rather than, let's say, it's curved in like a horseshoe shape. So to have little workflows like this, I think it's good little tricks to use. All right. We are going to export this, so baking test. We'll call this pants. Pants shreds low. Okay. One thing I do need to be careful of. Here it's outside the legal space. This will mess up your bakes. Whenever you bake, always make sure that everything is within this 1x1 legal space square. If it's not, pixels are gonna fall outside of the boat. re-export. We go over to Marmoset. Also, one little thingy, because this is Marmoset 5 and the interface is slightly different. I wanted to turn this on last time, but I didn't know where the button is. I have found it. They put the render over here. Now, lighting, currently it's set to raster, and it kind of looks flat. We can turn on ray tracing, which makes everything look a lot more accurate. Or not accurate, but it's a different way of computing, and I do believe I'm going to be rendering this with ray tracing later on, so for baking, we should probably also already have it set to ray tracing. Because then, like, little mistakes such as this become a lot more obvious. But for now, we'll ignore that. Let's see, I didn't give this a naming. But this is why it's important to name your things. I just have this set to bake group 01. And like I had to do a double take to realize that it's this one. So this is why naming your items is very important. It's been 2 weeks since we worked on this project, and I look at this and I didn't immediately know what it was. So especially if you work in a studio, you may not always be working on the same assets. If you get an asset from someone else, and the ticket says, "Hey, you need to do something for this, and the time frame is 2 hours." If you get a scene and nothing is named, and you have to start digging through things and try to figure out which one's the correct one, you are going to be wasting so much time. So please have good habits and name your items. Okay. So we're gonna have a new baking group. Call this pans shreds. We'll import. Yeah, it does not show this model, or doesn't show up this window either, which is good because this is my Explorer. So we have the shreds. Currently they're only single-faced, single-sided. I don't care about thickness just yet. I want to see if the outside projection goes right first. Go into ZBrush. Let's see. Look at this one. Currently we're sitting at 7. I don't see any polygonal faceting, so I'm gonna say that this is fine. Export baking pan shreds high. Okay, export it back to Maya. Marmoset. It's so much fun when so many programs all start with the same letter. We have Maya, we have Marmoset, we have Marvelous. What else is there? Okay, so we have the high poly, we'll move that here. Let's see. And we'll do a quick little test bake. And let's bake over here. And I would like a normal map and an ambient occlusion. 2K is fine. Like, again, we're doing everything in 2K now. Later on, it will be in 4K with a lot of sampling. Don't be the person who does test bakes at 8K just to see if your normal maps are baking alright or if you need more topology. Like, that's stuff that you do at 2K or maybe even 1K depending on your hardware specs. don't waste time making an 8K map if you can get away with a 2K. Like I've seen it happen in companies where someone's sitting doing nothing and then they're making an 8K map just to test a tiny fraction of a character. And it's like, why are you doing this? Okay, so it's very minor. This is also mainly just to see if there's like any spikes. Don't see any, okay. Go to Maya, give this guy some thickness. Which we are going to do with an extrude. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact same thing with we want this to get kept as well. Okay, so we can see that these polygons are black. Which is indicating that we have flip normals. Shading, I could set it to backface culling. These are flip normals. This is not what you want. This means that it is currently facing in the wrong direction. Very easy to fix. You just reverse normals. Maybe you've seen it in VR chat where someone looks like they're inverted. Geometry-wise, not color-wise. That just means that they mucked up their geometry. Tell them to flip himself. Politely. Okay, and... Oh, hey Juseps. Welcome on in. Long time no see. How are you doing? Actually, I don't think this needs a top because this is going to get fused with the pants. So it's only the bottom edge that needs to get kept off. Yeah. Oh, so many familiar faces after 2 weeks. That makes me very happy. Okay, this one can get kept off to the center. And then we will redistribute the edge a little bit. Oh, because we are in UV mode. Yeah, okay, this is what I wanted to see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hold up, getting some notifications. Check if they're... yeah, okay. That's for later. That's for after stream. Okay. So we'll see how this goes, because over here we see that some geometry is going quite into the model, or into the high poly, so if we nudge it here, it comes back out. In theory, this isn't a bad thing, because like the normal map rays are being calculated from where the low poly is, so as long as you don't change it afterwards. What am I gonna do with the Yin once everything is said and done? Probably put it on a portfolio shelf and then have it look pretty. Unfortunately, like, this is not my character, so I can't really do anything with it. So this is going to be one of those portfolio projects that once it's done, I'll make a couple of beauty renders out of it and then use it to showcase skill for future employees or employers. But I can't do much else with it, unfortunately. I do have one person who did indeed show interest in rigging it. So maybe we can do some cool poses or cool animations with it. Yeah, so that is both... How do I say this? Using someone else's concept, like everything is already fully done and it's really cool. But then at the end of the day, it is their character. It's not like for me to do anything with. We will use these UVs for a bit. So let me rename this so it's all capitalized. Back to Marmoset. Oh, okay. One thing that Marmoset 5 is doing, it automatically bakes. So if we set... No, not preview material. Bake mode interactive will set this to offline. Was it pants? Okay, so here we can see that there's some issues. These are the body that's clipping through. Okay, so we have some issues. Because this should not be... Whenever you have a stain such as this indicates that some ray casting has gone wrong. This is where we can check the cage. And the high poly. Let's see, is this ambient occlusion? No. Normals. I'm just checking the high poly just to see if there are no like weird flip things in it. Don't think so. Let's take a look at cage. Quality. This isn't ambient occlusion? No, it's not. Weird. Okay, so this means it's looking at the channel ambient occlusion. But if we look at the render pass of the old... Am I taking crazy pills? Ah, there it is. I was looking at the high poly. Alright, human error. So that is in the albedo, so that's in the norm ambient occlusion that's being baked. Why? Like the outside. Back face. Rebake. Nope. Welcome to game dev, where something happened and we now have to spend time trying to fix it. Because somehow this thing is baking weird. Like, why is it doing this? I don't know. time to kick the brain into thinking mode. So, okay, so this is where we very kind of like programmers have the rubber ducky, where you talk to it to explain your own code, and eventually you figure out what it is that you're doing wrong, and you throw the duck. In 3D, you can do the exact same thing, where it's just like, okay, step 1, the high poly, what's going on? Rubber ducky, yeah, rubber ducky programming, where you explain your I just explained it. In 3D, you can do the same, where you just like, okay, so we have what are the basic principles of baking from high poly to low poly? You have your high poly, so you have to make sure that that is correct. I look at my high poly and I see black stains on it. Maybe if you get yourself a rubber ducky and put it on your desk, maybe you'll become like a professional programmer. I need to ask Proto if he has a rubber ducky on his desk. Okay, so we look at the high poly and we see black stains on it. If we render without ray tracing, does that give any hints? Usually this indicates that, like, inverted normals. So we're gonna go back into ZBrush and we're gonna check that high poly. And this is probably where we figure out that we have inverted. Wait, flip. Okay, so this might be it. You see how at a glancing angle where this geometry is probably pushing through the other? I flip and set this to double. Yeah, okay, so this is the human error. We have our high poly is not clean. This is why we're getting bad results. So to fix that, we will grab, like, again, this is why it's important to be meticulous and have a clean high poly. And me trying to do a quick fix, again, it cost us issues. Grab this one and we'll just move it up a bunch. Just so that it no longer clips, and now the high poly should be clean again. Okay, re-export. No, wait, shit. That's not a decimated, that's a baking asset. Okay. Back to marmoset. It'll re-import. Okay, now it's gone. We rebake. And now we have a good bake. Okay, so now we have a little bit of here. This is probably a thing because the high poly is outside of the cage. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see, but you can see how it goes outside of the cage, and that's when you get these type of baking issues. So to fix that, we can increase the cage a little bit. Rebake. And now that is fixed. so that works. Turn on the body again. Cool. So we have those shreds now. Let's see if we can connect them to the main body, and then that should be okay. Okay. So again, because I've had these issues in the past, these will have to be baked separately, because there's no way there's going to be enough rays in between these two meshes to hold on information without projecting like the shreds on the pans and vice versa. So I will move these vertices into place, but I'm not going to weld them just yet. Why are you not going fully into place? Oh, because I'm in live mode. Okay. Oh, we have advertisement. Okay. So all of them line up. We have a few extra edges, so we'll triangulate those at the end. Did this one get merged? Yeah, okay. So again, topology like this is not allowed. This is... what's the word for it again? Non-manifold geometry. We don't like that. That is mathematically impossible. Topology. So the geometry pieces line up and we will merge them at the end. But for now, this is fine. Okay. This can go into the decimated models. Get hidden. Alright, so we're another step closer by. Oh, did I snap the wrong model? I did. Minor user mistake. Okay, I'll just quickly redo it. I'll put this one here. No, snap these. Alright. Looking at the bottom, nothing clips. I'll most likely redistribute these later on. I can do that now. Just because some of these polygons can be a little bit more evenly distributed, so I use Edit Edge tool, which is going to try and equalize itself just a little bit. slightly cleaner. Cool. So that's another small element done. Let's see. This leg had. Let's see. Is it? Yeah, this. The high poly has a couple of folds in here. We can model those in, and those should also be done. All right. Yeah, just kind of. Needs to be down here. I'll probably need an extra loop because we're pushing this one down so much now. Yep. I'll add 2. This one is going to help go in and out. Collapse this one here because at the back there's nothing. Okay, and then I've been looking at these, at this patch, because I'm not quite sure if I want to have this modeled in or if we're just going to rely on the normal map bake. It is a chunky element, but also it is another diagonal, and like a big diagonal, so maybe we can just rely on the normal map for that one. For this fold, we will need an edge. I feel like this edge just needs to go out quite a bit more. Same here. This one needs to actually be on the seam. Okay, so that is... Yeah, it's mainly to get these shapes in. Probably need another edge here. Because that's asking a lot of that one edge. I think that should work. Time for another rebake. Automatic mapping. Layout. Yes. I'll just re-export that into... Oh, damn it! No one told me. I've been doing this entire thing. I'm sorry. This is the I left the stream on my set. I added edges to the pants over here. This now also lines up. Sorry for not swapping the scenes. Everything... Yeah, the pants have been re-apologized now. I'm sorry that I missed that entire part. So, same theory that we applied up here. We used the cut tool to get the folds in. And now we're going to rebake back into marmoset. Come on. Yeah, we gave it new UVs. Make sure that all of them are soft. Well, except for the one here. Well, we'll worry about that one later again. Actually. We'll just select them like this. Soften, we have a little bit of... couple of diamonds. Can I fix that? Okay. Hang on, let me double check which one it is. Body working progress low. Yep. Okay. Okay. Garbled UVs, that's fine. Rebake. Okay, you can see a little progress down here. Now we have it down here as well. Okay. So I feel like these pants were probably the biggest chunk of it all. Now we can get some quick wins in with things like the chains. We're gonna get that wrist skull in, but let's look at the chains first, because make absolutely certain I'm not gonna forget to swap scenes again. These chains are sub D models, so they already have the topology that I want. The only thing now is that all of them are in one singular item. We're gonna have to split them up, just so that we don't have chain links baking onto other chain links. So what I thought was gonna be a quick win is in fact not a quick win. Let's keep chains low. To my this is 6,000 polygons. We also have things such as these double edges. If we get rid of them, it's not that much of a change on the silhouette. I just need to make sure that the bakes will be proper. That is eating into our budget a little bit. Because if we look at the character now, we are sitting at 26,000 triangles. So that all of these have these double edges, that is something that we can get rid of. Just quickly do that. Okay, upper chain first. Again, these edges were in here. Most people call them fences. These are little support edges that will keep an edge sharp when you subdivide it, because the density is so different between the two faces. So you're effectively creasing. After the high poly is done, you can just get rid of them again because they've served their purpose. Because every time we do this, we go down by like what, 50 polygons. This one might be a bit more tricky because it triangulates like this. I guess it's okay if we leave these in. Like it's just, what, 2 chains that have the stars on them? That's not going to break the bank. Alright, so now we are at 24. Yeah, now they're 4,000 as opposed to, what was it? Yeah, we've gone from 6,500 polygons to 4,500 polygons, so that's 2,000 polygons out, or triangles, I should say. For everyone here who plays VR chat, you know who you are when you have an avatar that is way above 70,000 triangles. Okay, and then these rings can absolutely be reduced by a lot. Like, there's no way why we need this many. Just getting rid of every other edge to reduce things evenly. Okay, same for the front. Okay, I probably made a mistake. Yeah, I missed an edge here. Okay, we'll just redo it. I think Maya has a select every nth edge function somewhere. I don't know where it is from the top of my head, so we're just manually selecting it. Basically, when you make a pattern of selections, then Maya is going to recognize that pattern and go from there. Okay. So yeah, 4.3 thousand for the chains, that's fine. UV wise, they don't have UVs. Two ways that we can do it. Number one is more UV space friendly, is where we sometimes when you have repeating elements such as this, be it a chain, be it a necklace, be it any other pattern that is like geometrically the same in how do I say this? You can either give everything unique UVs. So if you do create automatic UVs, every chain link has its own unique UV space, and everything will have its own pixel information. This can be done more optimally at the risk of it looking repeating, because what you could do is give 2 or 3 of these chain links unique UVs and then start duplicating them. The risk of that is if someone looks too close, they're going to notice that, hey, the scratch that's on chain link 1 is also on chain link 6 and on chain link 9. Humans are very good at finding repeating elements. So it is a bit of a risk, but it also saves you UV space if you are trying to go for optimized game elements or game models. Because again, the entire character has to fit in one square. So yeah, if you have like a small element such as a chain, how much UV space are you going to give it? Those are the type of questions that you have to ask yourself sometimes, because not everything can be unique. Sometimes, like a very common practice in game elements or in game characters or in game art is to have attributes be mirrored. For example, League of Legends does this, where the entire character is symmetrical, but they have like a sash that goes across the center line from the shoulder to hip. They have shoulder pauldrons that break symmetry and make the character look asymmetric, but behind the curtains, a lot of it has been, a lot of it is copied left and right. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Marin. Welcome on in. Let's see. Everything is gonna get soft edges. Because, okay, I know a couple of weeks ago I said that I knew how hard edges and soft edges worked. I'm gonna walk back on that, because I've had some major issues with a character having hard edges in the model, and it was absolutely screwing with a shader. So what I thought I knew about hard edges and soft edges proved to be false. I still don't quite understand fully how it goes. How the Hyena Bard's going today? It's going well. We fixed up his pants, got this shredded and capped off. Added a couple more edges here to the shreds, or to the left leg. Working on the chains now. And I'm still trying to decide with myself if I want to, like, how I want to UV this thing. No, if I go to ZBrush, I do believe I kept a world space. I do believe I kept a world space duplicate from it. World space origins. Please tell me past Canyon kept single chain link in there. I don't see it. I may need to have a talk with Past Canyon at some point. Nope, it's not in there. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll fix it later. But for now, I'm gonna grab this chain. Let's see. I'm going to copy this one into a new model. Decimate it, because this thing is 6 million polygons if we export it. Let's see, transform. See, plugin, decimation master, pre-process. Let me know if the stream chugs. Decimated. 6,000, that's a lot. Don't need that many. $200. Yeah, still looks good to me. Okay. And again, this is the test bake. Okay, back to marmoset. New baking group, chain. Quick. Export this from Maya. We have a couple of racers in the street, so please let me know if the microphone picks any of that up. Chains. Hip chain 2K normals, ambient occlusion, bake, also turn off interactive. So we have art, we have advertisement in a little bit. So if you need to grab some water, do a stretch. Chain material. Okay, because the problem that we have here is it may look fine, but then the second you start going in, you start seeing that one chain link gets projected onto the other. So I'm gonna have to find a way to split all of these chain links in a faster way, because I've done things like this in the past where I just I split them, I named them all uniquely, and then I set them all up in unique groups. This is quite time consuming. There has to be a way to automate that. Okay, if we look at... Yeah, so the normals are slightly off. But all of the beveled edges are good. Look at full quality, especially if we were to add a little bit of shine to it. Metallic. Yeah, we're not seeing any. Like if I look at this highlight here, I'm not seeing anything getting broken because we removed some edges. The high poly is doing its job and the low poly is capturing everything. So okay, that works. I'll have to sit down to see how that goes later. Or rather, I'll have to sit down and see how I can either find a script that does it for me, or because I don't think it's the most interesting thing to look at about how I'm exporting and renaming, like what, 50 objects at a time or one at a time. So that might be one of the few things that I'll do offline, where it's just, it's effectively inventory management. Split the chain, give each a unique ID, a high and a low, export them all, set them in a bake group, and then hit bake. Like, that is not the most thrilling part to look at, and I'd rather have people look at a more interesting stream. Yeah, for now, this is a successful test. I know that this topology holds up. So we can move on to the next part. Which would be, so we've basically been going from the bottom up. I want to do that skull on the wrist, and I want to get the fur tufts in, because those are large chunks. And get like a real visual bump in, okay, we've made good progress again. So back to Maya. Gotta make sure that everything is consistently clean, so these need to have soft edges. Because again, it's very easy to start losing sight of like, okay, yeah, this is geometry that we need, and this is geometry that's no longer needed. So again, putting hard edges in here, I'm no longer sure if that's the correct call. So I'll admit, I can be horribly wrong about things from time to time. But then, yeah, if new knowledge comes in or someone demos like, hi, this is the reason why it's not working, I'll own up and be like, okay, yep, I made a mistake. How can I do it better? Deke, no, don't set up that narrative. I can absolutely do wrong. Like, I've made plenty of mistakes throughout 3D. God, not a single... Okay, I'll be quiet. Okay, back to ZBrush, because I want to grab those fur tufts. Where are they? Here. These things as well. They're subdivided models, which means that we already have topology that we can use. There's a reason why I made them like this. It's to save time at this step of the project. I could have done them in Dynamesh and sculpted them more artistically. Then we would be retopologizing hair, which is something that we'll have to do later with the actual hair up top. But for these tufts, I was thinking of getting a subdivision 2. Okay. I was thinking of doing a subdivision 2, and then that should be fine, because if we look at topology... Okay, yeah, just have to make sure that we don't clip too much over here. But everything else is already quite usable. So we have our dynamic, we'll commit, apply, and then if we go to subdivision level 2, That is 9,000 polygons. I think that's acceptable. We can probably get rid of a few faces that are like too far inside. But for... yeah, I think these are already quite usable. Let's see. Kick them over into Maya, see what they look like. Let's see. Left arm fur tufts. We soften these out. Yeah, I'm looking at the density compared to the rest. I'd say that they're good. Maybe. All right, we'll probably have to triangulate the tips, but that's about it. Can I do that quickly? So if I do this and then hit triangulate. No, it's not smart enough to recognize that. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I'm happy with those. Those are some funky UVs. I have an idea as to why I made them like that, but we're gonna do them differently. So planar map. Let me think on this for a split second. Okay. Layout. Let me see if I can give these things some brief UVs. So again, with fur tufts, it becomes a lot more subjective on where you put the cuts. If I put them here, I mainly want them to be on the inside of the tufts. So whatever utility maps we're going to bake on later on, that it's effectively... I do choose the edge that goes all the way to the tip. Otherwise we're going to have a gnarly cut. Same principle of you want to hide your cuts, so we're going to put a UV cuts in the back of the fur tufts. This one's annoying because the outside and the inside become like eh. But I'll choose to put it here at the top. Okay. Cut. Okay. Same here. Bottom tufts. Because a lot of it is going to be playing with the hand or close to the hand, so we'll put the cuts there. This one's the only exception, so I'll put them here at the bottom. Now if we unfold, yeah, everything is becoming a lot more heart-shaped, and it appears that we've missed 2 tufts. Alright. Put them here, put them here. Unfold. Layout. Honestly, I can probably get rid of the caps from all of them. I don't think a single one... Yeah, so 2 reasons for doing that. It's probably going to get rid of this pinching, because the entire UV... It starts at a point, it goes out, and then it gets pulled back into a point. If we were to delete these faces and unfold it, we'll get a lot more... what do you call it? It'll flow outwards and it doesn't get pulled back in. So this reduces stress on the distortion of these tufts. That, and we can give them a flat bottom at the end. So just get rid of these faces. Actually, some quick undos. Yeah. Honestly, so you can do both your selection in the viewport, but you can also select your things in the UV islands. It's all information. They're all the same model, so you can select wherever is more convenient, rather than me trying to wrangle in world space, trying to like get to a singular vertex. It's a lot easier to just select them in UV space. Okay, do I have all of them? I think I do. Okay, so now we'll set the face and we'll do 1, 2, 3. 2 it is, because if we delete more, we're gonna start falling outside of the... It's gonna get noticeable. Sure, we don't have any accidental gaps. Okay. Now, again, we can unfold and they'll all become a lot more relaxed. I want to orientate these things, because, again, little trick that we'll use later. Later on in the texturing stage, I want to have something of a stripe texture that indicates fur direction. And I want that to be just a singular texture rather than me having to rotate it for every single fur tuft. So what we're going to do is we're going to straighten these things out. So we're going to straighten cell, and then we're going to make sure that all of them are facing with the tip up. I've done it once, now I'm just hitting G a whole bunch of times. I'll try to pick the center line. And you'll see that Maya is going to try and snap them to any 90-degree cardinal direction. So this is a bit of a personal preference. I prefer to have all of them oriented first, and after that we'll start rotating them all so they're facing up. Is that all? No, we have a diagonal. Okay. Now we can just select one, rotate shell, and we'll just hit G until all of them are facing upwards. Okay. I think these two did not get straightened. There we go. Rotate, rotate. Okay. Layout. Maybe to differentiate between the ones that are above the wrist, or the ones that are up top and the ones that are below. Maybe we can rotate these so that they're actually facing downwards, and in doing so we can have a little bit more space being utilized. And now they're also properly facing the same orientation. So we have upward facing fur tufts and downward facing fur tufts. Let's see. I can align UVs and then set them in max V. This isn't required. It's just something that I do. And then we'll utilize V. Can I make this a little bit more visual? Or, like, make it a little bit more, of like why I'm doing this. Let me just unfold again real quick. Undo. So here we see... How do I explain this? Oh, got back. Woodenak, and you see that you're streaking. Thank you very much for the 10 stream streak. Thank you very much, Marin. Okay, so if we unfold them now, you can see that it tries to heal it slightly. So now we have God, this is one of those things that I've been just doing for a long time. Never miss a stream. Nice, thank you. Except one time. Yeah, I think as long as you like watch a VOD, you can like regain the streak. Yeah. Well, thank you. Is what I'm saying with a lot of words. Okay. I'll see if this gets rid of any distortion. At this point, I'm doubting myself of like, is this even necessary, or if I'm... Thank you. We'll just put the ones that we've done down here. And again, I'm doing a lot of stuff with the radio menu now, so I apologize that this isn't being picked up by the stream. Okay. Just double checking. Also looks good. Again, if any of these are bad, then I can always just readjust the UVs like this. what UVing is you have your entire 3D model and you have a 1x1 square of pixel information, and UVing is telling the 3D model, hey, look at this square, and whatever coordinates whatever coordinates of your 3D model align with this pixel information, that is what you showcase on the 3D model. You're telling it which pixel information goes where. Yeah, have people here seen the picture of like a chocolate egg getting unwrapped, or like a little Santa? I believe it was a Santa chocolate piece. That is the entire principle. Like, you wrap the 2D image around the 3D model, and the UVs are gonna tell you where what pixel goes. Okay, so that's all the downward facing ones. Look at them. I think that looks good. Okay. The other ones. Sorry, I'm trying to speed run through this now. Don't turn it red, that's flipping it over. Because this is just pushing the same buttons 5 times. Straighten the border, unfold U, unfold V, do everything one more time in U, and move on. So I should get a glass of water on the next advertisement break, which should be relatively soonish. E. We have the good beats again. Okay, so this one was a bit too extreme, can't do that. Okay. Yeah, because I'm guessing that this is the one that curves in both ways, so that's why we have more distorted UVs. But if we look at the flow texturing, this is gonna work. This is fine. Okay, second to last. Last one. Okay, and then we can just give them a simple layout. And again, these should all be split. Let me these should all be split, so we don't have any neighboring fur-tufts getting baked in, but for the purpose of this stream and not bogging down by a whole bunch, I'll see if I can automate that. Also, we have ads coming in 2.5 minutes, so I'm gonna get a glass of water when those start. Let me see if I can export them real quick. Oh, also, soften edges. Okay, grab the ones from ZBrush. Hi. Marmoset. Why are you here? Seems low. Should be in there. Because otherwise, if I break this, then if I were to re-import the chains, then it's not gonna import correctly. Because the geometry has to be inside of this file node. I believe it's the correct term. Alright, new bake. Minor spelling mistake. That's in 30 seconds, and now I'm gonna get a glass of water. I can see my avatar pop up from time to time, and I wonder if that's like aberrant sounds popping in or like lip smacking. Please let me know if that's it, and I'll adjust the levels. Also, yeah, ads coming in. I'm getting a glass of water. Be sure to stretch. That should have baked in the meantime, so albino map. Source images, bakes, Verdafts. No, oh wait, no, I didn't bake, I only assigned the material. Down here. I didn't set this up yet. Bake 2, source images. PNGs. Normal, ambient occlusion. Bake. Material. Map. So we have those sharp edges in there. Especially here. And ambient occlusion. Yeah. Again, it may look like this is fine, and if this was a static object, then I would not care. But here's where you start seeing it fall apart a little bit. So I'm not quite sure how this model is going to move in terms of, like, well, let's say that if you have a model and this character is moving and, like, the fur is kind of like waving. If you have static shadows from between the tufts all baked in, and they start to move a little bit, you're gonna see those shadows sticking in places where they should not be. Oh, hey Yonut, welcome on in. So if you have that, then on moving objects, it's a lot more important to have your ambient occlusion baked on properly. So it can look okay now, but if we were to look, here, also you kind of see a scene where they bounce from each other. I'm not quite sure why Marmoset insists on having bakes like this. In Substance Painter it looks a lot cleaner, but I have chosen Marmoset for this project. So, yeah, for the moment, this is fine. I'll split it later and rebake. But in terms of the points are baking properly, we don't have any, as far as I can see, significant issues. There's no hard edges, there's no inconsistencies, so this all looks good. That's another step towards it, and then suddenly you see the process getting a lot faster, because these pans were a lot of manual working. Oh, I see this. This is not what we want. Now we're going through it a lot faster, because the next thing is going to be that skull, and we have the shoulder pauldron, and then the next big chunk is going to be the face. But body-wise, we're almost... I'm not gonna say it, but we've gotten very far with it. That's as lenient as I'll let me get on the wording for that one. Okay. So, yeah. I'm okay with this. We are gonna go back to ZBrush and we're gonna snatch the next piece. Let's see, ZBrush. This creepy boy. And again, we are not going to retopologize at an angle. We're not crazy, so we're gonna go up here. This is the subtool, or rather the subtool group, including the hexagon bolts. I'll transpose the set up a little bit. Just as a sanity check, because I got hurt on the last one. I just want to make sure that it matches up. And it's not like, surprise, we're like slightly bigger. I would look at it like this. Yeah, that's the same size, so that's not going to be any that should not be any surprises in the end. So we'll grab this one. We will first off fly. Why are these bolts in here double? Oh wait, one of them is sub D and the other one sub D as well? We only need one, so we can delete this. Okay. Now we can retopologize this. These are also, yep, they're actual geometry. Alright, cool. We can, on the folder, hit merge folder. I'm going to try and give sub these again. I don't need those, so we'll just delete lower, copy, subtool, paste. I should probably dynamesh it once because we have a few intersecting geometry pieces. So at 4K dynamesh. Hopefully don't explode my PC. Oh, that was very quick. Nice. Process for decimation. And decimate. Yeah, this is fine. Let's see, 18.5, so that is, can I do math? 36-ish K? Yep, that's fine. Export. Let's see, risk skull decimated world space, back to Maya. Like, I'm talking out loud now because I don't want to have it happen again where I accidentally forget to swap scenes and all of you are looking at a static image of ZBrush while I'm doing other stuff in Maya. Okay. Cool. This thing, yep. Alright, and the dance begins anew. We begin to retopologize. So again, finding the flow, finding the big shapes first. Make sure that we have these loops for the eyes, or rather, lack of eyes. More for like, this is where the spikes come out. Maintain center line. Probably want to have an edge for this one, just so it's like slight pickup. What does this edge bring to the table? Not a lot. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, it's then it becomes an hang-on. Okay, so its job is to have this be quads. Some mirrors. What's the purpose of you? Not a lot. Probably can get rid of this one. Yeah, because again, the high poly is quite planar. This is fine. I want to make sure that this ridge is modeled in so it catches an extra highlight. Make sure that this one's more towards the center. And this one, it's just an easy cap. Make sure that this... Because this goes in a little bit, so I want to make sure that there's an edge there. I think that'll help. Just make sure that the geometry is there to have like a little dimple. Catch the light a little bit better. Move them out. Let's see. I can extrude this one out. Gotta make sure we don't lose symmetry. Oh, don't do that either. This one, X0, we'll just mirror it in a bit. Mirror, negative, positive, there we go. Okay, so it just does not like extruding upwards. It's fine, I'll just fix one side and then we'll mirror afterwards. Just want to make sure that we have clean topology at the tip. Nope. Also, I should probably save. Otherwise, we would have lost... How long have we been going? 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah, that would have been bad. Okay, let's see. Otherwise, autosave would have hopefully saved us. Okay, and then we have... large smooth brush. Make sure that this tip... Oh, nope. Don't stretch it that far. Trusting autosave on work like this seems dubious. Every 10 minutes it makes an autosave. Which... Yeah, that... It has saved me in the past. So it is reliable enough where I will tell everyone to enable autosave in Maya. Literally the first thing I do whenever I get new hardware or I do a reinstall, re-enable autosave. A little bit of like distorted edges here at the front. Okay, so that's the horn. Maybe I can just collapse it into a single tip, but now it's fine. We'll see what the normal map is gonna say, if it needs more or less. Right. And here, have this move here. Or actually, no, come on. Yes. Let's see. Have it flare out there again. Rudder. I think I can collapse in the triangle over there. Like it's done its job. It hold the edge here and then over here it collapses again. Let's see, look at the teeth. Oh yeah, that definitely needs another edge. Though for the where it goes from like the bone into the teeth, I do believe we can just have that be a normal map. Like no need to like put some extra triangles in here. I say that now watch me change my mind in like 5 seconds, because yeah, we will need an edge. We need an edge so it follows the top of the teeth. So yeah, this is going to get a little bit more dense, but that's okay. We'll just cut it like this. There we go. Like, sometimes I talk faster than I think. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to do XYZ. And it's like, wait, actually, no, if we do XYZ, we get better topology out of it. Like, okay, cool. We will do the thing that I just said we were not going to do. It's fine. Art is messy. And the tips are just going to be triangles. There's no need to try and make them into like neat quads or like pseudo quads that are actually just triangles. Like this thing is not going to get deformed. We'll need an extra edge here. Make sure that that center line remains on the center. Sneaky little triangle here. And have it go up here. Okay, sides are just filling in. Smooth them out a little bit so we have equal quads, or more equal. Close up the nose. Let's see. I can probably collapse this one. Yeah, and then we have nice quads on the inside. Oh, this definitely needs another edge. Okay, I think these teeth are small enough where we can get away with it. Just being single plane. A super tiny triangle in here. Because we have a little bit of overlap. Okay. Yeah, get those eye spikes in. Come on. I don't know why Maya insists on, like, so I select the edge, I hold down shift, so it says extrude, and then it just grabs the entire thing. So I guess it just really wants it to be done like this. Which, okay Maya, if you insist. Not quite sure why that bug is in there, but it's been in there for a while. Oh, advertisements are over. Sorry that I didn't call it out that time. Oh wait, no, there they are. Was the announcement that I missed. Okay, and now it's doing it just fine. Thank you for being consistent, Maya. Sorry, I should not bash software. But it keeps doing stuff like that. Alright, and I broke symmetry. Quick mirror. Positive, yes. Merge centerline. Probably need like one more edge. I do need to keep in mind that currently we are working on a... Like this is an element on the wrist and I'm adding quite a few polygons to it. Just to have it like be round, but I need to look at it in context in a bit. Just make sure that the polygon density is... like a better term, acceptable. Because this is a standalone thing, and also we're zoomed in. So, hell, maybe it only needs like this many polygons. Like get rid of a few edges. We'll find out in a bit. Now I just want to make sure that our silhouette is strong. Yeah, because over here it's falling apart a little bit. Okay. Oh wait, no. I have to close up the back. Didn't take too long. Oh wait, and the teeth. Again, I'm saying things and then I immediately regret saying them. Let's see. We'll go about reducing in a bit. Collapse that one. Yeah, and then we're gonna need quite a few of those edges on the back to have the teeth come out. Probably want to have one for the bigger teeth rather than small teeth. Okay, I can see my little avatar popping up from time to time, but I'm not talking, so I wonder what it's picking up. Because I'm not sitting that close to my microphone at the moment, like I'm leaning back a little bit, but I see that thing activating, so I'm somewhat afraid of like it's picking up lip smacking or something. I don't want that. That's not a good sound. I'll do these without the live view. This is so small and so... what do you call it? Like, it's easy to just bridge him real quick. I'll triangulate. Because it's been annoying. I hope that this isn't going to muck up. Because here in the front we have like a single vertex that's carrying the weight of the world. Like it's... This little guy's holding on for dear life. Okay, you go here. You go here. And then we'll close them up. Alright, and then we'll... misalign as well. Okay, does that look good? No holes missing. Nope, that looks like it's good. Soften edge. Yeah, so again, these things, I think these are the things that do need a hard edge, because seeing those vertex, seeing those shadows in there, like that's a vertex crying for help. Same for this one. We'll just harden it. I wonder what the tip's going to look like here with this shadow. One way to find out. Test bake. Automatic mapping, we do not care. Hang on. Rename, wrist skull. So slow. Go to marmoset. Baking group. Again, all of these are individual baking groups right now, because we are doing individual tests. Later on, when this character is like fully retopologized and it has its proper UVs, we are going to change this folder structure again. So yes, it looks chaotic and ugly, but it's fine. Checking one tiny thingy. Yeah, okay, that's still working. Good. Because otherwise, I would have been real sad if like one of these things stopped working. Anyway, assets, baking. Let's go world space. There's the low poly. Low. Back to ZBrush. Grab this guy. Well, not this guy, because this one's decimated a bit too much. You're still loading the memory? Ah, you are. Cool. But you are decimated. Are you? No, you're not. Okay. Let's see, decimated. Why do you fuse together? Okay, I'll just recalculate you. Shouldn't take too long. So how are we doing for time? 15 more minutes? Because I feel if we go to Maya real quick as that thing is calculating. So I feel like we got some good progress. The pants are... They're in an okay spot, I'll phrase it like that. The arms are also in a good spot. Those fur tufts came out a lot cleaner than I anticipated. The wrist skull is going to be done in a bit as well. We're going to have to add the buckles. If we go to ZBrush, it's almost done calculating. Reordering, cool. That's the last step. Alright. Made in 20 seconds, that's acceptable. Decimate current. 1.5 million, that's a lot. 10%? Yeah, I call that okay. Let's see, export. That is going to be the Risco World Space High. Back to Marmoset. Oh, Marmoset, not Maya. That's a little low. I don't need that. Delete. High. Yeah, there we go. It took a second to load, so that's a little bit of a chunker, but it's fine. And we're gonna... Just go math. Sources. Go to this file. Normal and ambient occlusion. Stop. Okay, I think that looks good. Why is it so dark here on the gradient? If we look at render pass, albedo. I'm not expecting an ambient occlusion to be here. Like, I expect this to be a far smoother gradient. I'm not quite sure what's going on over there. Might be because of the bounces. Okay. But if we look at material values, normal? I think that's clean. Okay, so that's another thing done. Okay, so one thing that I was thinking about is I am doing this thing. The shin guard and the wrist skull are currently in world space. I do believe for the final bake, I do want them to be in character space, so on the body, just so that we have more accurate ambient occlusion, and that they're gonna add up on things like world space normal maps. For example, if we want to bake in fake lights, then it's going to look at world space normals. And if it's in world space, then the rotations don't add up if you later on put it on the wrist. So I have to find a way. Well, not find a way. I have to take the time to reposition the high poly and the low poly on the wrist and then call that, well, have it be the way that I want it. Because again, I'm anticipating problems. But for now, the world space, this one works. So we can go to Maya, we can tick that one off. And then also put it in a character space. Minor spelling mistake. I'll just do a rough estimated position for now. I say that and I don't like it. Hang on, grabbing the quick, grabbing the world space, no, character space version from the high poly real quick. The line is also in here. Might be something that I did with a high poly. That's fine. Yeah, while that thing is calculating, I can't do much else in ZBrush. Yeah, calculating 7 million polygons takes a little bit longer, so thank you for your patience. Should be about a minute and a half again. Oh yeah, 59 seconds, cool. Decimate. Decimate even further, like 100k. That's all you get. Okay, back to Maya. If this thing is skilled, I might scream. Like, we double checked. It shouldn't be skilled. It is... should be fine. So let me set this to object mode. Okay, close enough. I say that and I immediately move it again. That's position now. What else do we have that we can... I feel like I can go a little bit longer. I want to do the belt buckle and I want to get that shoulder plate in. Alright, ZBrush. Back to the character. So these belt buckles are also sub D. So luckily we don't need to do a whole lot with them. We can just export them and grab them. Same for these buckles. And same for these. Grabbing this guy. So again, we sub-D modeled it. I can probably get away with a subdivision level 2. Because again, this is a very simple geometry piece. Bolt column, sub-D, and then same for these bolts. Oh, what happened here? Why is this one so set in? It shouldn't be. Okay. Grab you. Move you. Oh. I wasn't aware that one got sunk in that far. We'll just move it here. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Export you as well. And then we have that sleeve part. The sleeve part is going to be a little bit more challenging because that one needs to actually get fused with the body. Oh. Highlight message. Hi Kenyan, a big fan of your work. As someone learning sculpting and 3D in general, it's great to tune in to someone as experienced as you. I was wondering if you review sculpts. If you do, I'd appreciate someone more experienced looking at it. Especially because it's on Anthro and you do a lot of Anthros. I can pay for your time. If not perfectly fine, love the streams. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, yeah. Thank you. And yeah, I can look at sculpts from time to time. Depending on my own schedule and depending on how many people are asking. So, yeah, send me a message on Blue Sky. And then we can take a look and see if I can potentially help you. Also, thank you very much for the compliments. That really warms my heart. Train of thought. Yeah, this sleeve, I want to have that be alongside with... this needs to be part of the body. So, let me export this level. Right shirt sleeve high. Okay, cool. Then I'll check your message after the stream and see if I can help you with that. Back to Maya. We're gonna start putting in these sub-D models. Okay, so just hexabolt, yes. Shoulder pauldron. Buckle lower arm left, buckle lower arm right, buckle upper arm left. And just like that, we have a whole lot more. Now he almost looks finished. Well, I should not use that word. It curses things. Like at the start of this stream, I was worried by how slow that this retopology has been going. And now at the end of this stream, which is another 3 hours, we've made massive leaps and now the body is in a very good state. There are a few things that I do need to do, such as make sure that there are enough vertices to hold these buckles into place and make sure that they don't clip. Same for these. They have quite a few edges in here that are not usable in the low poly. This... Yeah, this... I don't think I even need to do anything about this. Like this thing works. Give it some soft edges. Soft edges. So yeah, next big thing would be the chest. Oh wait, no, we're gonna do the sleeve first. We'll see if we can do the sleeve as like a finishing touch on the stream. Like the last tiny thingy. That's probably gonna take a lot longer than I think. Import sleeve. Yeah, because again, if we keep this as a loose element, that shoulder that's inside of it, odds are it's going to clip a lot more than it's worth. So what I think I want to do is have these polygons from the chest flow over it. It's like over here we have some edges that almost perfectly line up. And otherwise I can always add in another edge. I think this can work relatively well. Let me see. Give it decimated models up. Oh wait, we already have it in the decimated. Cool. So again, iteration, body. What do we? No wait, no. This one remains in body work in progress. This one is get hidden, and then this one is gonna get body sleeve. Because again, we're breaking symmetry on the shoulder here, so I'd much prefer to have a I'd much more prefer to have an incremental save, quote unquote, again, and keep it back up. So if we ever need to revert, it's there. Here. I'll add one extra edge. Soften it out a little bit. And we're going to make sure that this line lines up here with the sleeve. Okay. Smooth this out for a little bit. Put this one into place. Okay. Setup is there. Now we are going to jump in. Hey Labcode, welcome on in. So I did put in an extra edge. I'll keep it in. Yeah, welcome on in, LabCode. How are you doing? Oh wait, no. Turn off symmetry. This is most likely going to get very messy very quickly. Doing right. How about you? I'm doing also. I'm doing fine as well. Read apology has been going well, so I'm happy about that. I know that we're on the 3-hour mark, but I'd like to see if I can get this sleeve done, and then I think we're going to be in a really good position for the next stream. Where we can then focus on the chest belts, because those things are also going to take a little bit of brain power. So we're focusing on this now. Just as a small gift to next week, Kenyon. Okay, and then this is probably where it starts to... Again, I'd like to not touch the arms too much, because like, the arms are symmetrical, the sleeve is not, so we only ideally want to touch the sleeve geometry. Okay, so that's the outer edge. It's good. So if we can gently get these out. Okay, so here we have a little bit of fighting from Maya, because on the inside it has like some aberrant geometry and it's trying to magnetize to that. We'll just have to be extra firm and like, nope, Maya, you're wrong. This is the geometry you need to be taking a look at. Get these last ones up here. Careful and meticulous. So again, here we have the border edge of like where the tip of the shoulder would be. So I do ideally want to have that one to be on top of like top of the sleeve as well. You here. Okay, getting there. Oh, need this edge. Almost home. Maybe a strange question. Do you have any thoughts about adding redeems to your channel points outside of the ones you have currently? Yes, I should do that. I want to get a few redeems that are fun but not intrusive. If people are here for like the more quiet vibes, but like the little classic things such as posture check, hydrate, save. The little fun ones, I'll definitely have to set up. I'd like to get a pet redeem, just because they're funny. But yeah, I'm looking into getting a few. I just need to make time for it. Yeah. Right, let's see. We have our topology. Now looking at the flow, maybe nudge them around a bit because again, top of the shoulder here is very dense. Here at the corner where the silhouette is, it's holding on with just a single edge. We move them out a little bit. Oh, I don't want to touch these, so we'll do it manually by hand. Yeah, thank you for the question. It's a good one, and I do need to get on it before everyone has like a million channel points that they effectively have nothing to do with. Okay. Now, let's see, what do we do here? I think we're just gonna cut a couple of times. Yeah, so that's the problem. It's when you're a new channel and nobody has channel points, you can put up a couple of those, like, oh yeah, for 10,000 channel points you can make me do something ludicrous. And those are funny. But if you have been streaming for a couple of months and you have a couple of viewers that already have like a whole bunch of channel points, and then you put in a redeem of like, oh, I'll do this funny thing, then someone's like, okay, you're gonna do this now 10 times in a row. And like, oh, that was not the intention. So yeah, I'll have to think about it and I'll have to be smart about it. I also need to be smart about this thing. 10k points, you hit to undo. That is how you crash a software. Absolutely not. Yeah. Like 1 million channel points, you just close down your software without saving. Like, no thank you. No, I'm not gonna make those type of redeems. But I'm having a couple of ideas. Right, we're just gonna get rid of these because these are not useful. Okay, I'm gonna have to reinvent some flow here. Because we're not gonna go all the way in. I just want to have like a small inset of like maybe this much. So we can catch some shadow and that'll be it. Yeah, Because channel points are fun. I know what I like on other channels, and I know which redeems I find too invasive of like the viewership experience. Like having a little hydrate redeem and then have like a water droplet fall on top of the PNG of whoever's streaming. Those are funny. Having a tsunami flow over the entire screen for like several seconds with sound effects and everything, that one's a bit too hyperactive for me. I'll definitely see. I'll definitely check which levels of intensity that I want. Also, am I creating a spiral? I am. We're not creating spirals in this household. This one. Come on. Here. Let's see, we'll just polymodel the last little thingy. Okay, and now we can hopefully close this off without too many triangles. Bridge them, and then here we have two triangles, fill hole and fill hole. Okay, so soft edge. Okay. So theoretically, the arm topology is still the same, hopefully. We have our shoulder, our sleeve topology. If we were to quickly hide our high poly and get our shoulder pauldron back in. Yeah, so I don't like how it like slightly slides off to the side and the tip isn't like fully round. It's holding on by a single edge. This one. I'm not too big a fan of it, so I'll have to look at it again next stream. But the theory is there where we have our clean edge that goes over the side of the shoulder sleeve. We have a singular inset that makes it go up and then it's capped off. And now on the inside, we do not have any aberrant. We don't have extra geometry that can cause clipping issues. So this is what I wanted. Just slightly not okay with this being like wobbly. So I'll have to reconsider this one. But for what I wanted to achieve, I'm gonna say that this is successful. You go into decimation models. Get hidden. Duplicate, combine. And we'll put them in the incremental folder just for visuals. Then we can look at the progress again. Let's see. That is add. So yeah, visually big jump from last stream and where we are now. Yeah. Added the shredded. We added the shredded leg effect. Added the final edges to the other pants. Got the chains. Got the wrist detail. Those little clasps are also in, but we still need to clean them because edges like this do literally nothing. This is a straight surface. It does not need these edges. You can just remove them. They serve no purpose other than like it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a useless cost. Okay. And then, yeah, the shoulder pauldron, and we have the sleeve smacked in. And we are currently sitting on 37,000 triangles, almost 38. I think we're on track for like having a reasonable poly count. All right, cool. Then this is where I'm going to be calling the stream. Let me go find a raid target. So thank you all very much for being here. I hope it was fun and informative. Let's see, go to the following page, see who's there. Oh. Alex is doing 3D. I want to go say hi to Alex. Let's see. What was the command again? /raid. OBS. Okay, so we're gonna say hi to Alex again. She's working on the 3D model as well. He's doing retopology as well. Alright. So if you have my emotes, as always, cozy vibes, raid. If you'd like to see more of me outside of streams, I have a blue sky. Let's see, profile, that would be... I should probably make an automated command for this as well. If you'd like to see more of me, here's the link to my blue sky. Everyone, thank you immensely for watching. It feels nice being back after 2 weeks. And hopefully see all of you again next week, Wednesday. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.